Hi, it's Mr. Skelton again, and in this lesson we're going to take the patterns that we were doing in the last one and include the actual notation so that we can put those two elements together, what we're actually doing with our fingers and what we see, so that we're reading. I will do a quick, very quick review of the patterns as we go through each string. However, if you don't really know them, if you can't just rattle them off the top of your head, please go back and do the first video. That will save you a lot of time. And we'll do it string by string. Again, I've separated out the instruments for the sake of time. This is the second of what I think are going to be 4, maybe 5 videos total. So there are a couple more steps involved in this, but this is probably the most critical step because we're now actually getting into the notation. We will be you should be using your arm fingerboard for this. I do want to stress that again, good hand shape. Keep it nice and curved and relaxed. Come down on the top. Not sideways or anything like that. And do try to get the half steps where they occur. I'll show those just very quickly ahead of each string, and then we'll go from there. So let's start with the violin G string. So again, on your arm, it'd be the part that's closest to your face. If you're looking down your violin, of course, it's furthest on the left. And the pattern that we're looking for has the half step in the middle. You're not going to see me as we go through these so you're not going to see my fingers coming up and down because you're going to see the notes themselves. I don't have the capability to do both currently. So G, A, B, C, D. Let's remember that as we do the following notes. Here's what those notes look like on the G string. Notice they all have those little extra lines on them called ledger lines. That's unique to the G string notes. So there we have G, A, B, C, and D. Now take a look at this one more time, and I want you to practice that pattern on its own. Here is the Cascade Pattern. And if you need to know what that is, go back to the first video. Practice this one. And finally, here is the broken thirds pattern. So you practice this one with the letters that you should know. And if you have difficulty with this one, keep practicing the first two, the scale and the cascade. Good. Okay, your next string, of course, is your D string, so we're going to pretend like we're coming one over. Remembering in this case, the half step between E and F. In our natural notes, the half steps are E to F and B to C. So here's E to F, a half step, 1 and low 2, 3 and 4. The D string notes, D, E, F, G, and A, and you really need to know where the D is. That's your anchor for anything on the D string, of course. So get used to seeing that right on the bottom of the staff. Now take a look at this one more time, and I want you to practice that pattern on its own. Here is the Cascade Pattern. And if you need to know what that is, go back to the first video. Practice this one. And finally, here is the broken thirds pattern. So you practice this one with the letters that you should know. And if you have difficulty with this one, keep practicing the first two, the scale and the cascade. A string, same thing as the D string, except of course one string over. So A would be open A, B, half step to the C, D, and E. A, B, C, D, E. Here are the A string notes. Again, you should be able to recognize an A at any point. Always know where your open string notes are. And from the A string, we can go A, B, C, D, and E. Now, take a look at this one more time, and I want you to practice that pattern on its own. Here is the Cascade Pattern. And if you need to know what that is, go back to the first video. Practice this one. And finally, here is the broken thirds pattern. So you've practiced this one with the letters that you should know. And if you have difficulty with this one, keep practicing the first two, the scale and the cascade. Finally, the E string. So now we're on the other edge of our hand, on the pinky end, and this is going to be evenly spaced, but remembering that we are going to bring that first finger back. So if the A string was here, we've got to bring that first finger back, low one. So E, F, G, A, B. Again, the half step is between E and F, that's why that finger's back. And the E string starts in that top space and goes up from there, E, F, G, A, B. Now, take a look at this one more time, and I want you to practice that pattern on its own. Here is the Cascade Pattern. And if you need to know what that is, go back to the first video. Practice this one. And finally, here is the broken thirds pattern. So you've practiced this one with the letters that you should know. And if you have difficulty with this one, keep practicing the first two, the scale and the cascade. Okay, so practice those. Practice them a lot. You need to be able to see a pattern of what notes are on what string very easily, because next video we will start looking at combining strings, and then after that we'll add things like sharps and flats and other changes to it, but the basic pattern will at least be there. So if we can at least get it so we can see notes that say, oh, that's on the A string, or what have you, it makes it a lot easier. It'll help you learn your letter names, so you can pick out an individual note, but also you'll know where to play it. That's what's going to make it useful for you. All right, thank you.